within the first 10 minutes of the movie, he beats his father to death and sets his body on fire. So, yeah.
I like that.
Well, you like that because that was a moment of like justice in a sense.
Yeah.
For his mom, really.
It was justice for his mom and kind of justice for like ruining his childhood.
Right.
Basically. And how he kind of blames how he burns the burns his warehouse down with his dad's corpse in it,
and then
blames it basically on the riots.
Right.
Which I mean,
man, before forensics, you could do a lot of shit. Simpler times.
That was kind of
like when Harold shoots that kid. Like, bro, it's broad daylight. They got cameras in there. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They got to bring that back. Bring back no cameras,
making
so
it easier to murder people.
Pop a motherfucker when you need to. You know what I'm saying?
That was it's one of the interesting things about just the mindset of an Italian person in like the 60s of Johnny Soprano. You know, when the black
person in the 60s.
What?
Those are the only people who have those thoughts about like white flight.
No. Well, all right. Here's what I'm trying to say. Johnny Soprano in the scene when he comes home from prison and there's a black family who's lived down the block from them, and he can't believe that
he takes it as a sign
that a black family has come into his neighborhood, and it's just like, hey man, it wasn't so long ago that the white Protestants were saying that about you.
Yeah, but historically, people don't ever make those connections.
We're the United States of amnesia.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and he's taking it as a sign that like he did something wrong, or like they're it's the same thing you hear, like racist fucking real estate people on Long Island, like property values and shit like that. And like Newsday just did a study like a year or two ago about how like they steer people away from different neighborhoods. I mean, yeah, it's still 50 something years later, it's like sadly still rampant.
Yeah. I like John Bernthal. I thought did good as Johnny Soprano.
He did. He didn't have much to really do.
No, and that relationship between Tony and Johnny,
they spend no time on.
We don't spend a lot of time on, and because it's kind of supposed to almost parallel Dickie and his father. Because we know that Tony is going to become exactly like his dad. And we know that at the end of the movie, when Tony Soprano has these stolen stereo speakers that he got from Dickie, and he's throwing them out the window because he's saying, like, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
But we know, just like saying the theme of The Sopranos is that
I don't want any part of it. Like, oh, sorry, that was cringy.
Look, he doesn't have the makings of a leading actor. He doesn't have the makings
right there
of a leading actor.
That was good.
Hold on. I don't think
shout out to Michael Gandolfini. I'm sure.
No. First of all, I've met Michael Gandolfini. He's a great guy. I don't think he's bad per se. I think that he's a supporting actor.
Barely.
That's my opinion, is that he's not a lead man, and that they gave him too much to do in this movie. Also, like the fact that it's James Gandolfini's son playing Tony it's kind of weird.
I don't know why they did that.
It's kind of weird, honestly. I'm not a fan of that.
I didn't mind that they tried it, but it just didn't really land.
Yeah.
I thought it was like cool that they tried it, to be honest. Like I was like, oh wow, it's his son. Like, but that was the thing. Like they were like ramped it up, like, oh, it's James Gandolfini's son playing Tony Soprano, but then it's not about Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
And even though they gave him a shot, but like he didn't have any of the hard edge that, like, I'm sorry, like by the time Tony was 16, he was definitely a bad motherfucker.
The timeline is screwed up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like by the time he was 16, I'm sure he had his own little fucking crew of minions.
Well, they said,
you know what I mean?
I forget. All right, there's a scene where Ralph Cifaretto is talking about how him and Tony had like their own crew.
Yeah, and they robbed the car.
They robbed it. I'm not sure if he's referring to like them as teenagers or them as like early 20s.
I got more like they were around 20.
Yeah,
like
I never get a sense of how old Tony is supposed to be in this movie. I'm guessing like 15 or 16. He's in high school. Yeah.
And I think by the time he was in high school, he had to have been way tougher than that.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't see him becoming a gangster at all.
No.
Like,
and we know I think,
I feel like the younger version of Tony was more believable.
Yeah.
Than the middle version. You know?
I could see that.